Alright, here is your review of the open strings. We've reviewed open strings a lot. The idea is that you will feel so comfortable with this that you don't have to go back and rethink through it. That you're confident with those strings. So for example, if I said, okay, play your E string, you'd know right away it's this string up here. Okay, and you can also do it without the letter name. Eventually I want you to be able to move comfortably to the notation. So this fourth space is your E string. All right, then you've got your A, and then you've got your D, oh, and then you've got your G. All right, now moving forward in the book, you'll see that they start to add some more rhythms. So for example, this piece we're looking at right here would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So they've added some rhythms to that. Next step after that is they start to mix up the strings. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. You're always moving from a place of ease to increasing difficulty, incrementally building on to the challenges. That was the whole idea behind the challenge zone, is that you're finding that spot where you're just slowly adding on to the challenge. So for example, you may have done pizzicato first, and then you may go back through all of these. You're like, okay, I've got a pizzicato, now I'm going to play it. So anytime you add your bow into the mix, it's increasing the difficulty. That is how the method book is set up. It starts from a place of relative simplicity and then gradually adds on to the information. So for here, the very first thing in the book, okay, this is the yellow pages. They're not yellow here, obviously, but the yellow pages in the book, it's asking you just to play your open D, and you would hold that for 4 beats, and you'd rest for 4 beats. Alright, you can start it with pizzicato. I'm going to just play it first. Okay, so you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest, 2, 3, 4. I suspect that that's very comfortable for everybody at this stage. The yellow pages deal primarily with the letter names. So they have you working with letter names, and then they eventually have you add some of the other notes in. But you'll soon see the limitations of just working with letter names. Do they mean open E, or do they mean this E with the finger down? And that's why it's important to eventually get to notation. So once we've skipped through the yellow pages, we have using notes or notation, and this is what it starts to look like. Yeah, I think that's all I had to say for this video. If you feel comfortable with the open strings, it's time to move on to filling in the rest of the notes in between.